Let's do this. Okay, Slowfix. What task we had to do for you? So Uplanders agreed to help. Good. Here is what Slowfix wants Uplanders to do. Many golems proudly do share, get in the way of expansion plans. Slowfix wants Uplanders to eliminate golems. Uplanders are Charlayan, yes? Charlayan should know best way to deal with creatures. Of course. So we are to eliminate the golems. That should be a simple enough affair. The automata were employed as sentinels, and by design can be unmade with a coded command. At the time of the Exodus, it was noughts and crosses, and I see no reason why it should still not work. Let us divide the task between the three of us, the quicker to be finished with it. Noughts and crosses. Of all the luck, one of my golems was not receptive to the password and tried to pummel me bloody. Thankfully, I managed to dance clear of its fist and strike it down. You had more fun than me then. I'm pleased to report that my golems obediently crumbled at my command. That's nice. Golems are no more. Wonderful. Now we can resume work to expand settlement. Uplanders help Gobi Flock earned right to be citizens of Edoshir, but Slowfix must ask another favor. Another favor, you say? Some time ago, near friend of Slowfix ventured into Illuminati territory. Illuminati are nasty goblins, show no mercy even to our Gobi kin. Slowfix fears for a friend's life. Please find friend before Illuminati do. I'm suddenly taken back by a sense of foreboding. Be that as it may, we cannot turn a blind eye. Let us make haste and find Slowfix's friend. Goodly Uplander, long time no I catch. What is bringing Uplander here? Does Uplander have last eyes for Junko Brieflocks? Uplander must not be touching Junko Brieflocks. Brieflocks is finding junk first. I knew I recognized that voice. Greetings, Brieflocks. It has been a while. Forgive us for interrupting your work, but Captain Whiskey gave me to understand that you are marked by the Illuminati. This happens to be Illuminati-held territory. Is it wise to be here? Sure. Brieflocks eat Illuminati for synopsis. Who eats for who for synopsis? Brieflocks, old dogs, unwise you are to come here after dirty taking secret knowings of cheese make from Illuminati. Brieflocks did no one right. Cheese recipe is gooby birthright. Save tongue flash for trading in death pit. Where have I seen this before? Pray to Godfathers, for punishment is near times. It appears we have no choice. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got this. We did it. Illuminati no match for these godfish so Brieflocks. More junk is awaiting Brieflocks muchly. Brieflocks is taking leave of Uplanders. So that was the famous Bravelox. I have newfound respect for the company of heroes. That a motley crew such as theirs could achieve the feats they bespeaks unwavering solidarity. Being embroiled in a cheese war was the last thing I expected coming to Charlian. At any rate, we have fulfilled Slowfix's request. Let us return with the good tidings and be on our way. Uplanders are back! Did Uplanders find fair enough, Slowfix? Time has not cured recklessness of Bravelox. Without help from Uplanders, Bravelox would now be dead Gobi. Slowfix owes Uplanders debt of gratitude. Slowfix and Bravelox are joined by unseverable Gobi bond. If Slowfix had known that Uplanders are friends of Bravelox, Slowfix would have welcomed Uplanders to Gobi Flock at first meeting. Uplanders have upheld bargain most highly. As promised, Slowfix makes Uplanders honor citizens of Idilshire free to cross river at will. The Uplanders must leave for now. Slowfix hopes that Uplanders will pay many visits and help build great new nation. You are most kind, my friend. You may be certain that we will return. I must confess, at first it upset me to learn that my home had been occupied by others. But I see now that it is in good hands. Under your care, I look forward to seeing Charlian thrive once more, to become a home to people of all races and creeds. Slowfix has already ordered the Gobwatch to let Uplanders through. Safe travels. Off and out. Enio, shall we then? I shall be very cross if you're asked to clear this mountain of rubble. So we are free to go. Where exactly? By order of Chief Slowfix, Uplanders can come and go at will. One moment for clearing away barricade. Finally, we can continue our journey. Thanks a lot for not giving us a warning. Barring any misadventure, we shall soon arrive at the cave where Matoya resides. Unless you have unfinished business in Idilshire, let us strike out at once. I'm ready whenever you are. Let us go and meet the legendary Matoya. Clickclocks offers warm and hearty welcome to Uplander. Join Gobi Flock in a grand experiment. I am ready whenever you are. Ahead lies the Enstring Quarter, where the scholars of Charlian gather to hone their knowledge. Even from this distance, displaying that much of it has been given back to the wilderness. Let's go with the Red Mage. So, let's go. Matoya's cave. The cave in which Matoya resides is situated on the southern edge of the hinterlands. In choosing this spot, my master desired privacy above all else. As such, the cave is extremely well hidden. You'll not find it unless you know how to look, to look for it. We shall follow the road south until we reach a bridge. Rather than cross it, however, We shall ford the stream it spans, thence head straight until we arrive at the base of a bluff. All kinds of herbs grow here. They appear very well tended. This is the entrance. You seem unconvinced, Enio. Well, that'll only add to the surprise. A word of warning before we proceed. Stubborn geniuses make poor hosts, and time will have done naught to improve my master's temperament. Doubt not but that there will be sentinels and traps, both to deter unwanted guests. But we'll not be deterred, will we? Go on, and touch the wall yonder. You will want to have your weapon near at hand. Yeah. Those sentinels may suffice to discourage the average trespasser, but not the warrior of light. The way should be now clear. Come, let us go and see my master. Whoa. Don't you know it's rude to enter without knocking? The youth of today. No manners at all. Though we neglected to knock, we did create something of a commotion, and hoped that would suffice. Heavy-handed as ever, I see. And still not a hint of grace. Some things never change. To give credit where credit is due, I learned from the best. It has been too long, Master Matoya. Indeed it has. It's good to see you again, my girl, and with your fiery spirit unquenched. But look at you, all grown up and womanly. The one there in the fancy duds, that's Loizuk's granddaughter, I take it. Grandson. Begging your pardons. You knew my grandfather, my lady. Knew him? We were constantly at each other's throats. Like rabid dogs, we were. He was a stubborn bugger, was your grandfather. Never a dull moment when he was around, though. I'll give him that. As for you, boy, I've known you since you were a rosy-cheeked babe at the teat. And my sister, too, I gather. May I say what an honor it is to meet you again, my lady? Spare me the hollow pleasantries, boy. I'll wager my remaining good teeth you didn't come to a forgotten corner of Eorzea to flirt with a wrinkly old woman. Now out with it. What is it you need of me? You see, Azuzla, never thought hear that name again. You're familiar with it? As familiar as one can get from the poring over musty old tomes. The elegant citadel afloat not long before the sun set on their empire. Old Loizor and I often talked about it. The place is home to a research facility dedicated to finding ways of mastering mighty beings such as primals and dragons. And find ways it did too, frightening ones. Such secrets as lie buried on Azuzla aren't fit to see the light of day. And now you tell me a band of dragon-baiting primal bothers are trying to dig them up? Indeed. And to make matters worse, the Ascians have a hand in their plot. They must be stopped, no matter the cost. I see. Very well. You will help us then? Truly, I had not anticipated such an impassioned response. Could it be that the presence of a young blood has stirred your own? Some things never change. One day, that pertness is going to cost you your tail, my girl. Don't say I didn't warn you. Was some 50 years ago, shortly after Garlemald had brought all of Isambard under its rule. Faced with the threat of invasion, the people of Charlian scrambled about a means to resist the Empire. For my part, I was tasked with developing an aetheric converger. Ah, yes, a device which draws in aether and concentrates it to produce a destructive force. But as my research neared its end, it was denounced by the Forum, who claimed that my device was more likely to destroy us than our enemies. After that, they and I had a little falling out, and I decided to seal away all the fruits of my research, lest the dunderheaded ingrates reap any benefit. Pity, I know, but gods, it was satisfying. Do mine ears deceive? 'Twas you, was it not, who was so fond of saying that all knowledge exists to advance mankind? That how it is used depends on us? I don't remember. Perhaps. Alright, yes, that was a pet phrase of mine. And that should give you a notion of how sick and tired I was of those spineless wretches of the Forum. All talk and no trousers, that lot. That's why I decided to remain behind, rather than join the Exodus. You may have had your disagreements with my grandfather, but upon that point, your minds were as one. With respect, Master, the fruits of your research should not be left to spoil. Will you share with us the secrets of the Aetheric Converger? Aye, I will. All the information you need is contained in the tome I wrote on the subject, but you'll have to fetch it from the forbidden section of the Great Library. You are not exaggerating when you said that you had it sealed away. Though the city is abandoned, the library's guardians are all but certain to remain. We must needs cut a path through them. Come, let us away. Does this mean a dungeon? Lovely. Not so fast, you lot. Stola and the boy are staying with me. I need help to make new sentinels to replace the old ones you walloped. They'll be board and lodging. Don't you worry. But know that you'll have to work for them. Hard. I'll have no slaggards in my house. Being here calls to mind my days studying under Matoya. Though she was the strictest and most irascible of mentors, she led by example and inspired one to greater heights. Were it not for her sage guidance, I should not be the woman I am. Do you see the tomes lying about like so many cheap romances? They are priceless. My professors at the stadium would have fits if they saw them in this state. Oh, the Great Library's guardian shouldn't pose any difficulty for a hero like you. You'll hardly notice Stola's absence. And the girl, boy, Whatever would only get in your way. But if it turns out you aren't up for the task, well, then I'll know you can't be trusted with something as dangerous as an etheric ram. Now, the library's entrance is locked tight. I'll loan you one of my servants to open it. The broom yonder. Well, what are you waiting for? Introduce yourself, boy. Greetings, good sir. I am Broomsy, my lady's servant of some 50 years. May I say what an honor it is to serve you? I am given to understand you wish to enter the Great Guba Library. To find it, pray head east upon leaving this cave. The building will come into view shortly after you reach the collapsed bridge. I shall go on ahead and await you at the entrance. When your preparations are in order, pray come and meet me there. It'll be my pleasure to unlock the door for you. You stand before the Great Guba Library, one of Hydalin's foremost repositories of knowledge. Alas, it has fallen into disuse since the Exodus some summers since. In all those years, its halls have welcomed not the coming of a single soul. Its floors felt not the loving brush of a broom. Mine apologies, sir. Pray pay no mind to the dreams of a humble broom. You are doubtless eager to venture within and retrieve my lady's tomb. I shall unlock the door at once. When you have what you seek, pray return to the cave and report to my lady. The first mini-boss was the one I struggled with. Nice. That wasn't too bad. Not too bad. One more crystal. If I got the story right, we have a chance against the Ascians because of these crystals. That explains why we did not get killed when they confronted us. Are the Ascians gonna make an appearance now? I take it you found the tome. Well, let's see it then. Aye, this is it, alright. Stula! Boy, put down whatever you're doing, come here. Enya has returned with the tomb. Thank the gods. But another minute under Master Matoya's exacting supervision, and I would certainly have lost my mind. Or merely my temper. Some things never change indeed. Well, I for one appreciate the exacting supervision. In the short while we have been here, I feel I've gained a far better understanding of arcane entities than I did during my entire time at the stadium. Should the opportunity present itself, I should very much like to employ this knowledge for the betterment of mankind. Create new variety of carbuncle. Perhaps. Don't get your ahead of yourself, boy. Loisa's grandson, or no. It'll take another decade under me before you can call yourself a scholar. And a deal more than that to make you a scholar worth a damn. As you may have gathered, Master Matoya is not easily impressed. Indeed. So, Enya has returned with the tomb, has he not? Shall we examine it? 'Tis well that you were able to retrieve the tomb. Had you failed, Master Matoya planned to have us take dictation while she quoted its contents from memory. At the stadium, I had the good fortune to be tutored by some of the finest scholars in Charlian. I can safely say, however, that Master Matoya exceeds them all. How I should have liked to listen to her arguing my grandfather. I had not thought to behold this tome again. There. It is deciphered. Now your friend should be able to make sense of the contents. That said, it's one thing to understand the workings of the etheric converger, and another to actually make it work. You do realize how much aether is required. Sid is keenly aware of the energy dilemma. His airship is by no means large, and he can only bear a limited quantity of crystals. If only we had white aerosite in the etheric siphon. Alas, Minfilia is missing, along with both artifacts, and Moibrida is gone. Would that there were another ready wellspring of energy for us to draw upon. Why did not occur to us before? We already have what we need. The Eye. It has been drawing aether into itself for as long as the great worms have lived. It is a veritable wellspring of energy. It might just suit our needs. But is this energy something that can be harnessed at will? I believe so. With the aid of the Azure Dragoon of Ishgard. Then it is settled. Let us return to the Holy See at once. Stola. Wait. When did the light fade from your eyes? I might have known that it would not escape your notice. It has been this way since I returned from the livestream. An after effect of the teleportation magic I invoked, most like. They are called forbidden spells for a reason. What were you thinking, girl? I have no regrets. I but did what was necessary to preserve the light of hope. To keep my promise to Minfilia. Besides, it afforded me the rare opportunity to wander the aether. A once-in-a-lifetime experience. I did not tell you that it consumes your very life force to see by sensing the aether around you. Take care of yourself. Do you hear me? I will, Master Matoya. And thank you. See if you could conceal it. From her of all people. Pay me no mind. I was but thinking aloud. Thanks to your customary heroic efforts, we now possess the knowledge to build an etheric ram. All that remains is to secure its energy source. Let us hasten back to Ishgard and consult Sir Emmerich regarding the Eye. What is this shield all about? Can he go through it or no? No. Something's here. I wonder if this is going to be explained in the story later. The heretics wreak the greatest havoc in Foundation. War is inevitably the weak and powerless who are made to suffer most of all. I am glad that you and yours are safe. Ah, you are returned. So Emmerich, I am pleased to see that your recovery proceeds apace. May I introduce you Stola, a fellow sign of the Seventh Dawn, an Archon of Charlayan. My lord, pray excuse me for going due pleasantries, but we seek your counsel regarding the etheric ram. Though we now possess the knowledge to build such a device, we yet lack an appropriate source of energy with which to power it. We believe, however, that Ishgard may possess the solution to our problem. You need not apologize, my lady. Full eager am I to learn of your progress. Please, tell me of this energy source that you believe we possess. You see... And you are certain that the Eye can lend its power to Master Matoya's etheric converger? At Estinian's command, yes. Very well. I shall speak with him. My thanks, Sir Adric. Nay, my friend, 'tis I who should thank you. As should every Ishgardian. You labor in our name, with nary a care for your own safety. Let us next speak with Sid. He will doubtless be eager to begin work on the etheric ram. So this will be a main scenario soon. I shall personally relay your proposal to Estinian. If that which you ask is possible, you may be assured of his cooperation. My thanks again, Enio. A bit of sleep deprivation won't kill me, I suppose. But if it does, well, then I'll have all the sleep I want. The joke will be on Biggs. What do you think? Looks like a different ship, doesn't she? Most folk know Master Garland as a genius inventor. It's only when you come to work for him that you realize he's a goddamn tyrant taskmaster. Just, don't tell him I said that, alright? He's right there, right? Ah, you're back! The preliminary work on the Enterprise is more or less finished. Tell me you found a way to build the etheric arm. Greetings, Sid. It has been a while. This tome contains the fruits of my former master's research on a device known as an etheric converger. Our RAM should operate on the self-same principle. Where are my manners? Put a toy like this in my hand, then I go off into my own world. Gods, it's good to see you. And bearing a gift besides. A very distracting one, if I might add. If I didn't know better, I think it was my name day. But there'll be time for your unions later. I'll make a start on the tome right away. So long as I have a grasp on the fundamentals, I should be able to knock something together. Which leaves the small matter of the energy source. We believe we have found a solution to that problem as well. Pray forgive us our lateness. The power of the Eye is not to be drawn upon lightly, but I believe we have sufficient cause to do so. So this is the fabled Eye. By the 12, it seeds. There's a wonder such power can be contained, much less controlled. Boys, our friends have kindly provided all the ingredients. Let's see if we can make something out of them. You heard the chief. We're not resting till the etheric ram is operational. Not one wink of sleep. He's not excited. Oh, shark, chocobo. The little guy describes regular real-life workers perfectly. Given the danger of the task that lies before us, I think it only right that we take a moment to bid our friends and allies farewell. Alas, Sid requires my assistance with Master Matoya's rather singular writings. But I entrust the task of visiting those who will remain behind to you. Azure wings to bear us to the final battle. I must admit there is poetry to it. So the hour is nigh. Would that I could join you in the upcoming battle, but with my wounds, I fear I would only be a burden to you. In consorting with the Ascians, and availing himself of primal powers, my father made himself an enemy of all that is good and right in the world. Do whatever you must to end his madness. May the Fury watch over you. This is it then. Go well, my friend. I shall pray to the Fury for your preservation. Mayhap you think it's strange that a daughter of Garlemald should pray. I do not blame you. I used to think it passing strange myself. But that all changed when I discovered something dearer to me than my own life. Thereafter, praying seemed the most natural thing in the world. Prayers are born of heartfelt faith. In manipulating the people's beliefs for his own twisted ends, the Archbishop makes a mockery of their very existence. It cannot be borne. So you're off to face the Archbishop, then. Please be careful, and watch over the others, will you? We have lost too many friends as it is. Some may yet return to us, but I couldn't bear to lose anyone else. I just couldn't. I realize it's asking a lot, but you're the strongest person I know. And I don't think there's anything you can't achieve if you put your mind into it. So please, whatever else happens, keep everyone safe. Oh, Hilda. We'll keep the city in one piece, don't you worry. We won't get up to no mischief while you're gone. Not too much, anyway. Well, if it ain't my old friend Enio, off to face the Archbishop and his cronies, is it? I'd love to go and give those bastards a good walloping myself. That snake chairbeard especially. But I got to stay here and keep an eye on things. With the Archbishop gone, some of the poor folk might get in their heads to do something stupid like storming the pillars. But blood won't get us what we want, and I need to be around to remind them in that case they forgot. No need to worry about us, anyway. I'll work with Symric to preserve the peace. You just concentrate on settling the score with the Archbishop, eh? Mr. Abeeb, how good of you to pay me a visit. It feels as if it were only yesterday when first we met here in this chamber. You came to us, a fugitive seeking asylum. And now you bear the hopes of our nation upon your shoulders. He would not have told you, but when Harshaphon begged me to accept you into our household, he described you as hope incarnate. At the time, I assumed that he was waxing lyrical, as was his wont, but I have come to see that he simply spoke the truth. You are hope, a shining beacon that shall guide the people of Ishgard through the raging snowstorm. A memento. Were my son here, he would have wished to fight at your side in the battle to come. Take care, my friend, and return to us. We're not gonna let that guy get away with murder. Count Edmund bequeathed to you Lord Harshaphon's shield? A noble gesture. We bear the hopes and dreams of full many souls. Let their faith in us be a source of strength and courage as we face our remaining trials. Work on the Enterprise is nearly complete. Little is still a no to make ready. Until but recently, the Ishgardians had kept their doors firmly shut to outsiders. But thanks to you, we have found in them stout allies. with whom we may fight to secure the future of the realm. Truly, you are the beacon of hope towards which all men are drawn. Spare us the hyperbole. It is not for praise that we fight. Oh? In light of all we have achieved, I felt only meet to express my gratitude. All that we have achieved? Spoken like a true outsider. Until the war is over, we have achieved nothing. The coming battle is a chance to excise the root of this conflict, and by my hand it shall be done. Then you may speak of achievement. 'Twas not mine intent to make light of your struggle. If I have given offense, then I apologize. But if I may speak freely, you would do well to be wary of the eye. Even now it burns with insatiable hatred, watching unblinking for a sign of weakness. Should you falter for so much as a moment, it will surely consume you. Save your concern. I will consume the ire, and let it consume me. Oh, Renger, what are you doing here? Well be praised, thou hast not yet set forth. Across sand and snow have I journeyed, that I might deliver this gift unto thee. Oh, we can kill an Ascian with this. Nice. What arrowsight? But whence did it come? To mine amazement, it lay hid amongst Moinbrida's last effects. 'Twas but blind chance or providence that I did have to spy it. Let no man claim that my late friend here preferred for lack of foresight. In the place whither thou goest, servants of darkness do lie in wait. Pray give unto me thy pledge that thou wilt strike them down and avenge our fallen comrade. I know not of the Archbishop and his knights save that which ye have told me, but if they truly possess the power of primals and the seekers of Aziz's law, they are dangerous foes indeed. We must spare no preparation. That which man thinketh a trifle in the having, he mourneth as a treasure in the losing. A tired platitude, but one which shall haunt me unto my dying day. Do whatever you must to end my father's madness. May the Fury watch over you, my friend. Let us go, Enio. Aziz's law awaits. Ah, excellent timing. We've just finished our work on the Enterprise. She's so much improved, I decided to give her a new name to suit. The Enterprise Excelsior, or simply the Excelsior if pressed for time. Once again, she will carry Eorzea's protectors into battle. All aboard! I can do more than see you off with prayers for your safety and success. Yet know that wheresoever you may go, my son's spirit goes with you. May the Fury grant you strength. Return to us, all of you. Enterprise Excelsior, engage! This is it. Get ready. I know mine, enemy. Render unto me thy power. No, you will not claim me. I am the master. Wow. We're through! Is Justinian okay? Oh, the Emperor. Oh, great. Chief, we got an Imperial battleship on our tail, and it's bleeding massive. Damn it, the bastards were waiting for us to open the door for them. I'm gonna try to shake them. Hang on to something! We're all gonna die. Taru! She won't take much more of this. The time is come to use Hydalin's gift. Much blood has been spilled in my name. And for what? For a false cause that I created for want of the warmth of companionship. Saint Shiva, Reisvelger, Pray forgive this fool. But even now, I cannot let go of my dream. My dream of tomorrow, in which no child need freeze alone in the snow. Wasn't expecting her to team up with the dragon. Interesting. Thank you, Reisfelger. Is that Izel? What does she mean to do? Oh, goddess, born of mine own hopes and dreams, for the last time I beseech you. Fill this vessel with your light. Still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace. Is she doing what I think she's doing? Ow. What is he trying to do? Wow. Wow. She's vulnerable. Farewell, Warrior of Light, and thank you for showing me the way. No! Oh boy. This Aether, it was a crystal of light. Oh boy. She too was one of Hydaelyn's chosen. Oh boy. Fare you well, my lady. Let me just say, I did have some tears fill up in my eyes, but I didn't cry. I'm not the type of person that wants to hold back, but I definitely did feel bad. That was just... Is this gonna be the theme of the entire game? Someone's gonna have to sacrifice themselves so that the story moves forward. This is gonna be rough. I don't know who's gonna survive. And this is just the first expansion. We're in for a treat. Taking on an Imperial battleship by herself. Primal or no, that took some courage. I wasn't afraid, not in the least. Pardon, what smell? Oh gods, someone spilled something down my trousers. Zale, I cannot believe she's gone. The Echo is a gift, and a burden both, as you know only too well. Though we walked opposing paths, Iceheart was a worthy woman. Her deeds will not soon be forgotten. Phew. I don't know about you, but I'm glad to be back on solid ground. Even if said ground is floating in the sky. When that Imperial battleship appeared, I honestly thought we were finished. And we would have been, had your friend not arrived when she did. Oh, grant her mercy. Brief though our time together was, Zale was a true friend. A gentle soul who fought out for her beliefs. She would have made a fine scion. What is a scion but one who fights for our cause? Our hopes survived thanks to her sacrifice. Let that be enough. Yet I cannot help but wonder, how came she to know of our presence here? The dragon Reisviger, maybe? From Reisviger, I would wager. He will have felt my channeling of the Eye's power. It would seem they were able to make peace with one another in the end. She gave her life because she believed in us. We owe it to her to see our mission through. See that dome-like structure further in? Let's make our way there. I sense an ominous presence. Heavy though our hearts may be, we must forge on in the name of those who we have lost. It's still active, all of it. Sid is right. We owe it to Azael to see this mission through. Crikey, this place is like something out of my dreams. I agree. The Isle Sentinels don't seem to frequent this area. We should be safe here. Let's talk strategy, shall we? First of all, in the interest of efficiency, I suggest we make this place our base camp. We can coordinate the search for the Archbishop from here. I have no objections. Now that we stand upon Azuz's law, I am struck by the vastness of the Isle. We must needs be methodical if we are to find our quarry. Good. Now, unless I am mistaken, this used to be an airship landing, and a major one at that. From what I know of Allagan design, there should be a terminal nearby that's linked to the Isle's operational heart. If we can find such a terminal, we should be able to learn something of the Archbishop's whereabouts. Let's split up and look for it. This place is an engineer's playground. If I had the time, I'd be going over it with a bleeding magnifying glass. The Empire borrowed most of its technology from Allagan relics. If we can find the terminal, I reckon we can operate it. Think that such a massive structure has been floating above our heads for all this millennia. It beggars belief. I dare say this landing could accommodate even a Ragnarok-class vessel. Remarkable. Alas, I have found naught of use. This ominous presence, to whom does it belong? Machines are beyond my ken. I shall leave it to the others to find this terminal. But more concerned to me are the dragons that I sense nearby. Nothing? Damn it. There's just this terminal then. But it doesn't respond to anything I do. Any bright ideas, Wedge? Wedge? He was here just a moment ago. Oh, don't tell me he's wandered off. I'm sorry, Enio, but could you help me search for him? Absent-minded as he is, I worry that he strayed beyond the landing area and made friends with the local sentinels. Wedge. He was wandering around in Realm Reborn also. And it looks like he's doing it again. Okay. Ow! Wedge, are you alright? I'm fine, Chief. I just tripped, that's all. Fool of a Lalafell. What were you thinking, coming here on your own? Death by overwork is one thing. Death by stupidity quite another. I'm sorry, Chief, but I think I found something. What is this? The wreck of a sentinel? This is no wreck, Chief. She's still operational. You can tell. See? Initiating. Performing diagnostics. Diagnostics complete. To proceed, please agree to the terms and conditions of use. I'm getting big deja vus from this. Yes. Thank you. To register as user, please state your name. I'm Wedge. And that there is Enio. User registration complete. Welcome to Azuzla, Master Wedge and Master Enio. I am Guidance Doji Li. Oh boy. Greetings, Master Enio. Is there something you wish to know? That's my robot voice. That fool of a Lalafell, always making us worry. And he's already gone and named the node. Can you believe it? Sorry, I promise to be more careful from now on. This isn't quite what I had in mind. But it might just serve. Wedge, bring the node this way, would you? There's something I'd like to try. Node! I need a status report on the facility. Gilly, you have to do what the chief says. Yes, that's it. Good girl. Here we are. Not much of note. It appears someone recently reactivated Helix, which is this area. Reactivated, you say? By the Archbishop, I'd wager. I dare say he woke the place up when he used the Vanu's key. Are there any other people in the facility? If so, where? Let's see here. On the flagship, that's the central aisle. I'm seeing positive readings within the Iterochemical Research Facility and the Fractal Continuum. And what are we here? Intruders detected in the Gamma Quadrant. Defense system engaged. Okay, I'm getting some System Shock 1 throwbacks or flashbacks here. Because that's the last time I've heard of a Gamma Quadrant in a video game. Our Imperial friends, I suspect. I hope they enjoy the defense system. But what of the Archbishop and his cronies? What might offer an indication? Ah! How about this? Which area is currently consuming the most energy? Somewhere called Triad Control, inside the research facility. And what manner of place is that? It is, and I quote, a regulation facility for the Warring Triad test subjects. And that's all it says. The rest of the information is only accessible to users with consular privileges. I mislike the sound of this, which leads me to believe that it is indeed the place. I am inclined to agree with Istola. Whatever it is that the Archbishop seeks, it is like to be there. That settles it then. Let's find a way to cross over to the flagship. Yeah. Well, this note turned out to be rather more useful than I expected. A few years back, Wedge decided he wanted a dog. And when we said no, he sulked for a bleeding month. He's right there. Gilly's a good girl. Isn't she a good girl? The Warring Triad puts me in the mind of a tale from my childhood. He told of 3 gods locked in perpetual conflict. Warring Triad. I somehow doubt they are amenable to negotiation. What in the furious name is that thing? Are you talking about the guidance note? Greetings, Master Enio. Is there something you wish to know? Requesting access to the Iterochemical Research Facility. Access granted. Generating route. Route generated. Commencing guidance to chosen destination. Please be aware that the designated route may take you to restricted sectors, and that the Owl's defense systems may attempt to terminate you. Be kindly reminded that, in accordance with the terms and conditions of use, you and your party assume all risk of damage or injury, including death, that may occur en route to your destination. Guidance note be trusted? I know not, but we have few other options. Let us see where it leads us. Enio, Istola, Estinia, we 4 shall proceed to the research facility. Sid, the Excelsior is our sole means of escape. Pray remain here and have her ready to depart at a moment's notice. Understood. We'll see that she's prepared and ready to fly. If anything happens, just let me know via link pearl. Be on your guard, my friends. The enemy could be anywhere. We have scarce begun, and already it leads us to a dead end. Mayhap the note has further instructions for us. If I'm not mistaken, this is some manner of a teleportation device. You are currently within the Alpha Quadrant. First, you must use the nearby matter conduit to travel to the Beta Quadrant. Please wait a moment while I activate it. you certain it is wise to trust this orb with our lives? That node is not what it seems. From amidst the metal, I sense the gaze of a living being. Have care around it. The matter conduit appears to operate on the same principle as the Aetherites. How remarkable that it should still function after all this time. According to my records, this conduit was last serviced approximately 5,014 years, 6 months, 11 days, 7 hours, and 13 minutes ago. That it should function without mishap may be described as a miracle. Assuming guidance to the Aethericomical Research Facility. Please follow me. This sector, the Beta Quadrant, is home to laboratories which produce chimerical life forms for both military and household applications. Our facility has been awarded 3-star certification for compliance with ISO 3001. The good behavior of the creatures born here is guaranteed. Please be warned, however, the millennia of neglect may have had an adverse effect on their disposition. For your own safety, please refrain from approaching the creatures. The orb is beginning to try my patience. The Elegans did not respect life. Brilliant as they were, I cannot bring myself to respect them. The area teems with chimerical creatures. Be on your guard. Unable to activate matter conduit. Energy shortage detected. Identifying cause. Cause identified. Unauthorized siphoning of energy by chimerical creatures. Locations: the recombined labs and the biomass incubation complex. Time is short. Let us split up and eliminate the culprits. Enio, pray dispatch the creatures at the recombination labs. The rest of us shall sweep the incubation complex. Take care and return hither when you are done. While facing the chimerical creatures, I had a moment of inspiration. I feel I've attained a better affinity with arcane entities. Well, that's good for you. Helping out has come far. Master Loza would be proud. Machines are not to be trusted, least of all those that can think. We can agree on Shodan for sure, though. We can agree on that. Energy restored to the conduit. Please wait a moment while I activate it. Conduit activated. You may travel to the Gamma Quadrant at your leisure. Oh, the Emperor is here. Emperor. Ugh. So the Garleans managed to land. Repairs on their vessel appear to be well underway. I doubt they will leave anytime soon, however. Aye, they will remain here long after they have stripped the Isle of all of its secrets. Whether or not they mean to linger, their presence here and now is an unwelcome complication. Indeed. Let us avoid confrontations unless absolutely needful. Warning, re-intruders detected in force in this quadrant. It is recommended that you avoid confrontation where possible. Be kindly reminded that, in accordance with the terms and conditions of use, you and your party assume all risk of damages or injury, including death, that you may sustain in the course of guidance. Please follow me to the next matter conduit. It leads to the Delta Quadrant, where the facility's greatest achievement is located. These soldiers bear the sigil of the 6th Legion, ordinarily deployed within Ilsabard. They are certainly a long way from home. The 6th Legion has long been the favored of Emperor Varus. It is the iron fist with which he crushes uprisings. Wait, something is afoot. Our objective lies at the heart of the Isle. The 3rd will remain to guard the ship, while the 2nd patrols the perimeter and eliminates any threats. The 1st will come with me to secure the research facility. Let no man doubt the import of our mission. The Elegants found a means to capture Acons alive, and their knowledge lies hid upon this isle. If we can but acquire it, we would be able to prevent the beings from returning to plague us, thus ending the cycle of rebirth. I need not remind you that success will raise our Legion high in the Emperor's regard. Yet by the same token, His Radiance does not tolerate failure. That is all. All troops, prepare for deployment. So that is their purpose. To think that the knowledge used to buy no less a being than Bahamut sleeps here. Imprisoning a primal in such a manner would represent an effective means to halt the cycle of summoning, were it not for the grave and obvious risks. Indeed, we need but refer to past experience that of Bahamut's calamitous return to see why this is not the solution we seek. Held in duress, a primal will continue to nurse its hatred for mankind, and when it inevitably breaks free, its rage will go beyond quelling. Whatever folly the Garleans mean to commit, they can wait. We must remain focused on our task. Yes, of course. We would not be polite to keep the Archbishop waiting. You have survived to this point is in defiance of possibility, but it appears the danger is not yet past. Warning! Intruders approaching. Please eliminate them if you wish to proceed. Oh, that's very nice. With this. Is that it? Instance battle time. This should be interesting. That would explain my men's silence. We meet again, and this time we will not be interrupted. Come, Show me your power, champions of Eorzea. There we go. I heard the tales of your strength, warrior of light, and now that I have experienced it firsthand, Von Balzar's defeat seems less inexplicable. You're a formidable foe, and I have thoroughly enjoyed our time together. Alas, all good things must come to an end. Elegant secrets await. There is no profit to be had remaining here. Keep them occupied. Coward. It would seem we have no choice. Do we ever have a choice? You must continue on. We will hold them here. Take the eye. It should still hold long enough energy to be of use to you. I shall join you as soon as I am able. Enough talk! Make haste and stop the Archbishop! Oh. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. Welcome to the Delta Quadrant, where methods are developed for mastering dragons. To this day, the sector is home to live specimens brought over from the southern continent of Maricadia, truly a testament to the greatness of the Galagan Empire. I regret to inform you that the matter conduit leading to the flagship is no longer functioning. According to my records, it was destroyed by a dragon, which broke free of its restraint when it failed approximately 2,369 years, 1 month, 24 days, 7 hours, and 4 minutes ago. Please find an alternate route to the Chemical Research Facility. The Alagan Research Council apologizes for any inconvenience caused. Oh, that's helpful. So, thy journey hath lead thee to this accursed place. Canst thou hear it, mortal? The ceaseless keening of my kindred, steeped in 5,000 years of suffering. Long before these guardians and their base betrayal, there lived still more wicked men whose ambition knew no bounds. Fearful of our might and covetous of our power, they devised the means to enslave dragonkind. Their vile misdeeds did set in motion a train of events whose repercussions are felt to this day. Beyond, thou wilt find one of my first brood. Hark thou unto her words, partake thou of her pain. Think thou upon the suffering that the conflict betwixt our kinds hath begot. Who cometh to this forsaken place and disturbeth my solitude? Tiamat, my child. Father, can it truly be you? None other. My form is such that I may journey with Hydalin's chosen, a mortal who desired to end the war between man and dragon. Millennia have passed since I was brought low by the men of Alag. To think that war rageth still between our kinds. Hearken to my tale, child of man. I am Tiamat of Midzargarsamir's first brood. In a time before time, my father did come to this star, bearing 7 eggs. From these eggs did my children hatch, and once they were full grown, they took wing and spread across all the lands of Hydalan. Together with my brood brother Bahamut, I journeyed south to Miracudia, and together we brought forth innumerable children into the world. We abided in peace and all was well, until the men of Alag came, some 5,000 years since. They slaughtered my children in droves, and took from me my beloved Bahamut. 'Twas then, when I had fallen into the depths of despair, that black-robed men came unto me, the Ascians. They offered to resurrect Bahamut through their dark arts, and I, in my grief, accepted, a decision which I shall regret unto my dying breath. From what they brought back was a mockery of my beloved. Worse, the Ascians gifted his murderers the means to entrap him. Know this, child of man. The beings thy kind call gods are but specters of thy mind's creation, given form at great cost to Hydalan. Many such beings yet slumber across the land, brought to heel by the selfsame empire that bound me. They must not be released into the world. If thou wouldst end the conflict, vanquish thee the Ascians, and deliver the weak of will from the bonds of their dark influence. If hath been 5,000 years, my child, wilt thou not forgive thyself? The release of death is denied me here, yet I desire not freedom. Nay, father, I shall live with my regret until the world itself had ceased to be. Such is my just punishment for consorting with darkness, for calling forth a loathsome and lamentable creature which blackened my beloved's memory. The last crystal. Now we have a chance to fight against the Ascians. I think. Warrior of light, beloved son. The light abideth within thy heart again. Full valiantly didst thou overcome thy many trials. But glory not in thy success. For the servants of darkness are ever close at hand. Receive of me my blessing once more. And go forth to shine thy light on all creation. Thou hast broken down the wall I built around thee, and partaken of thy mistress' blessing once more. Strong art thou, mortal, stronger than any other of thy kind. Having looked upon thy deeds, I am convinced thou art worthy to bear her light. The covenant bound me to thee, but would seem our fates were mingled from the first. Thou will not fight thy battles, I will yet lend thee my wings. Come, mortal. We go to cast out the darkness. Convenient. There's a mount on it. Convenient. So, that's what you were foreshadowing earlier. You can now ride Mir Garsamir. Oh, that's nice of them to do that. Oh, look at that! From a distance here, you look kind of creepy. Warning! Intruders detected in the vicinity. Please eliminate them if you wish to proceed. Oh boy. Okay, I'm not saying no to this. No, I'm not saying no to this. Thank you. Thank you. Warning! Intruders approaching. More two. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Area secured. Lifting access restriction to the Chemical Research Facility. Restriction lifted. You may enter the facility at your leisure. Ending guidance. Unknown energy source detected within the Aether Chemical Research Facility. Please exercise caution. I am pleased to have been service of you, Master Enio. Please send my regards to Master Wedge. Deactivating. No. Who are we fighting? The Ascians, the champion of Hydralin. Tell me, why do you despise the primal soul? They are the embodiment of mortal will, of mortal desire. Plain you desire a foe to despise, and 'tis well that you do, for it is that from the vertex of ceaseless conflict, the Lord Zodiarch shall be reborn. Through the joining, the world shall become whole again. Then all shall be once it was, as it should ever have remained. For the glory of Lord Zodiac. Your meddling ends here now, warrior of light. Oh, that's it? Such strength! It defies all reason. No, I will not be bested by the likes of them. Labria, it is time. Very well. Let us show these mortals the true power of the Echo. The power to break down the barriers of existence. I am become you, and we are become one. A Grim Reaper. Come, mortals, render up your souls, that Lord Zodiac might be reborn. Yes! Did it! Not too bad. What walls are these? Damn you, Eidolon! Two Lalafels helping us. Nice. And I forgot what that race called. That he might regain the blessing of light I had foreseen, but he has grown so strong in it as to deny us our power. Let us withdraw, Labria. That power remains to us, at least. Impossible! Your prison. Your move, Shen. Your move. So, you harnessed the eye's power. A pity you spent it all. What will you do now, hero? So, not even the vaunted warrior of light can unmake an Ascian without relying upon mortal contrivances. Oh, it's you. You. In the distant past, King Tordan and his knights 12 fought and defeated Nidhogg. Though the victory cost them dear, they were rewarded with a great prize. The Dread Worm's eyes, both of which have since been held in the Holy See's safekeeping. The eye you possess was Nidhogg's left, and long has it served as the source of the Azure Dragoon's might. As for its twin, it has lain here, joined to the person of Haldrat, the first Azure Dragoon. For though he learned to harness its power, he was ultimately consumed by it. Even in death, his body decays not. A pitiful end for a fabled hero. My Ascian friend, long have you and your kind sown the seeds of chaos by teaching mortals the secrets of summoning. But if you assume that we would meekly serve as your pawns, then you are gravely mistaken. You would raise a hand against us? By taking unto my flesh the soul of the legendary King Tordan, I am become a god. A god who knows not cessation, whose being is sustained by a millennium of fervent prayer and the eye's nigh bottomless reservoir of aether. What? Your contempt for man has proven your undoing, Ascian. For my first act as God King, I do hereby sentence you to die. Gods feed upon aether. It matters not from what form that aether takes. Ascian souls are no exception. With this power, I shall put an end to 1,000 years of conflict. Be they sown by Ascian, dragon, or primal, wheresoever the seeds of chaos threaten to quicken, I shall excise them with my divine blade and bring order to the world. You're gonna try to do world domination? Same old dream. I am become that which you abhor, warrior of light. If you would take issue with my godhood, I shall answer you with my blade. Okay. Brothers, the time is come to call upon the true power of the Heavensward. Fight me if you will, warrior of light. I care not. All who stand against me will be destroyed, be they servants of the darkness or the light. By my blessing shall all men be sacrificed, and an endless era of peace begin. Vice and conflict shall cease to be. You reject my divinity, yet what have you to offer my people in its stead? Bitter truth? Virtuous suffering? No matter. If you believe your cause just, I call upon you to defend it with your life. Okay. That's it. That wasn't too bad. Oh, how can this be? A millennium of prayer and the eye's power combined, and still you stand. What are you? First time I see fear in a bad guy. What do we do with that sword? I bet there's a harder difficulty for this. Oh yeah. It is over, then. I'd hoped that mine would be the hand to end it, but knowing you, there was little chance of that. Would seem the eye has served you well. its twin, at long last. All that remains is to take them beyond the reach of man and dragon both. With this task accomplished, my toil shall finally be at an end. Thou hadst done well to resist mine influence, bathed in my power and blood as thou wert. Alas, in thine anticipation of comfort thou hast lowered thy guard. The keening of my fallen kindred, their smoldering desire for vengeance. Mine eyes have partaken of 1,000 years of pain, a pain which I shall bestow upon thee. Drink deep of my rage, mortal, and become me. So hey dog, my child, what hath thy fury made of thee? Let us away, servant of Hydaelyn. So Estinian is dead? Actually, no, he got transformed. I don't know. Chief! Over there! Oi! Haha, gods damn it. Do you always have to cut it so bloody close? It would seem he has done it again. Was there ever any doubt? I'm getting deja vu from that line. Let us return to Ishgard. Our friends will be eager to learn the battle's outcome and welcome back their champion. Where is Estinian? I dare say you are the first soul in Ishgard in history to arrive in our history upon Dragonback. This scene shall be remembered for 1,000 years to come. As we had feared, the Archbishop summoned the soul of King Thordan unto himself, and thence became a primal. But he and his knights are no more, thanks to the Warrior of Light. Your struggles are not yet over, mortals. Whom do I have the pleasure? I am Midgarzimir. I have journeyed with Hydaelyn's champion and observed his deeds in the conflict between man and dragon. Tell me, children of Thordan, do you desire peace? My people have committed unspeakable atrocities against dragonkind, even against our own. Would that we could undo these wrongs, but we cannot. Be that as it may, the future yet presents a chance to begin anew. Our nation has broken free of the shackles of a false fate, and Nidhogg shall lead his kindred against us no more. I doubt not that it will require much effort and perseverance, but it is my belief that in time, Ishgard will again become a place where man and dragon may abide together in harmony. I shall remember thy words. Yet be warned, Nidhogg's soul liveth on. His unbridled rage hath claimed for its vessel the one thou callest the Azure Dragoon. Stinian, doubt not but that Nidhogg will call out to his brood ere long, nor that they shall answer him. Steel yourselves, for the true test is yet to come. Come what may, we will never cease to believe. Upon the souls of they who have sacrificed themselves to pave the way for peace, we will never abandon our cause. 1,000-year war cannot be ended in a day. It may take generations. What thou dost begin, thy children must continue. Entrust unto them thy hopes and dreams, that peace may reign again, and forevermore. Let all here present attest that Sir Imric, acting on behalf of the Archbishop, has appended his signature. I do hereby declare that from this day forth, the Holy See of Ishgard shall once more be counted a member of the Eorzean Alliance. Let our nations move forward as one and stand united against the Garlean Empire. For the future of Eorzea! For the future of Eorzea! There you are. A noble monument to a noble soul. Harshaphant, rest in peace. From here, Lord Harshaphant can watch over all of Ishgard. It has been a long and arduous journey, and we have lost much and more along the way. Yet what may, we must stay true to our purpose and press on. That's right, you two. It's high time we got back to rebuilding the Scions. Which means we're going to need money, and lots of it. So ends a glorious chapter in their tale. However, tumultuous days yet lie ahead for Ishgard. After 1,000 years under the yoke of the Church, the people take their first tentative steps into the unknown. And though they spy a glimmer of peace upon the horizon, Nidhogg's vengeful shadow yet remains to darken the way. So long as the young commander of the Temple Knights and his heroic champions are there to guide them, the people may hold fast to hope. The hope that one day true peace will return to Ishgard, and that man and dragon may live in harmony once more. Let the deeds writ herein never be forgot, that they may inspire generations yet unborn to strive ever heavensward. So we finally made it to the ending of Heavensward. What do I think of Heavensward overall? It's a lot better than A Realm Reborn. It's a lot better than A Realm Reborn. Those are my first thoughts. And from beginning to end on Heavensward, I enjoyed it every step along the way. The story, the characters, the dungeons, the trials. All of it. All of them were memorable. The world design, the art design, the lighting, the graphics, everything. Everything was memorable. I'm gonna try my best to keep my thoughts because I'm doing all this unscripted right now. When I first completed A Realm Reborn, I did not know. I got confused if I really got to the ending. But now I know how this game works now after completing A Realm Reborn. So back to Heavensward. I haven't done the job quests for any of my jobs yet. But just to speak of the main story for Heavensward, it was memorable. Again, the characters were so memorable, and I can't believe I did not cry. I don't think I cried once in Heavensward at all. Not once. Maybe once I almost came close to crying, and that was when Iceheart, aka Shiva or Izael, whatever her name is, she died, sacrificing just for the story to continue. I mean, which kind of begs the question: how many more sacrifices are going to happen in this game when it comes to the story? I mean, this game really does pull your heartstrings, especially when it comes to the climax that's slowly approaching in the horizon. I can only imagine what the story is going to happen in the later expansions. Like I said before, I'm not the type of person that I'm not afraid to let my emotions show. But the closest thing to getting really emotional to Heavensward was when Shiva, the Iceheart, sacrificed herself. My eyes did get water a little bit, especially when I had to dub the characters when they were talking about her sacrifice. But other than that, it's a great story. I have no clue what Estinian's fate is. I don't know if we'll see him again in later expansions, but I'm honestly not really surprised about his fate, because Istola did foreshadow his fate in the climax, and lots of twists and surprises in this expansion. I was very surprised. Like, a couple of people have told me that you don't know who to believe. Who's actually telling the truth? I can only imagine what the story is like in the later expansions. What was it? Is it Stormblood next after after Heavensward? Is it Stormblood after Heavensward? I don't have the expansions. I don't have the expansion orders on top of my head right now. But this just makes me continue to go all the way to Endwalker. I already got the complete edition of this game when I first started. Was a big gamble because I had to pay quite a bit of money just to oh, and there's Horsefant now, reminding me what happened to him. So I started playing this game taking a huge risk by paying for the complete edition. And I honestly ended up liking the game. The first 50 hours and around 100 hours was probably the most difficult because I was still learning the game. But after about 200 hours of this game, I started to relax more and learn how the game works, all the game mechanics, and everything what the game has to offer. And I am honestly very happy with my experience in this game so far. A Realm Reborn, Heavensward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Walker. So it is Stormblood is next. So, I didn't realize that there are patch-in quests between the expansions. So when you reach the first true ending, like A Realm Reborn, you get this credit sequence, and then you get some quests in between leading up to the next expansion. And I believe the same thing's gonna happen this time. This threw me off guard when I finished A Realm Reborn for the first time, and I automatically assumed that Heavensward would begin immediately. It did not. I didn't notice at the time. But then it finally started later on, and that again took me by surprise, but I finally realized it then. So yeah, so what's happening next is the post-game content. So those are my thoughts of Heavensward. Though that's what came into my head as soon as I reached their credit sequence here. I'm very happy with. This is where the fun begins. I'm gonna argue that the fun began when Heavensward finally rolled in, because the main scenario quests alone were interesting. I can't really think of one main scenario quest that was dull. It kind of dragged on quite a bit, but compared to A Realm Reborn, Heavensward is where the fun really began. And it just makes me want to know the lore a little bit more. I think the only nitpick I have of this game is that the main character doesn't really have a lot of choices, like in Mass Effect or any Bioware games or any other games where you get to have romance options with other characters. But then again, this is a Final Fantasy game that goes way back to the late 80s with the NES. But still, I'm going way off point here. But even with that said, the game's story is very memorable. Well done. I can't really say too much as I'm trying to give you a review of Heavensward, because I haven't played enough games of this genre to give you my full thoughts. So I'm just basically giving you what I think of it from my gut right now. I am not a Final Fantasy nerd. I think I probably saw Final Fantasy videos or lore in the internet a couple of times. I really don't know anything about Final Fantasy. I really don't. But I am a sucker for good stories, and this game has it. I remember the character creation screen, yes. I went through it very thoroughly. I read every bits of pieces on the character creation screen. That is the redux of the original Final Fantasy team? For the NES? The original Final Fantasy team for the NES. Didn't realize that. The only way I would know this is I had to do research. That when did the first Final Fantasy game came out? On what platform? Wow. In retrospect, I have to agree that A Realm Reborn is definitely not the best part of this game. It's not. There was quite a bit of fetch quests that probably tested your patience. A couple people told me the pre-Titan quests were not very good. That's just one comment I can think of from the top of my head. There are a couple other things that I remember from A Realm Reborn. They only had, what, 2 years to come up with a new story, new dungeons and all that, to fix the messy release back in 2010. I can't really blame them too much for that. I mean, 2 years just to create new systems, that is not a lot of time in game development. I think. I could be wrong. But after hearing a lot of stories from the video gaming industry, for an MMO for 2 years, that's not a lot of time. This is the Prelude team? I've said this many times that all the music that I've heard in this game so far have been memorable. I'm not sure if I could listen to them when I am not playing the game, but they're all great. Wait, what did I do? What did I do, Cure? What did I do? Correction, let me rephrase it. I'm a sucker for good story and good music in a video game. The last video game that I loved the music was the Mass Effect series. Not Mass Effect Andromeda, that doesn't count. But Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. The story and the lore and the music in that game were good. 3 was not the best, but overall it was memorable for its time. And now I'm going into Final Fantasy blind. And I guess I am in for a treat after all. We are in agreement, Cure. I would rather play Mass Effect 3 over Mass Effect Andromeda. I think we all can agree to that. Did this song play at some point in the game? Or maybe I didn't go through some certain quests? Unfortunately, Cure, there are more Mass Effect games coming out, but I hope that they are not going to mess that up. But that's probably gonna be years away. And Cure, I've been very busy posting videos on Final Fantasy on my playthrough in this game. If you are interested, you can see how I went through the character creation scheme. I went through the game on the very first time. It's a long video, but I did make timestamps on how I went through it. And when I first started playing this game, I didn't know anything about DPS. I didn't know anything about DPS, healers, tankers, none. I was completely clueless. But I had what Tuchvir tell me that when I started the game playing as a tanker, apparently I made the best choice to start things off. I did not expect to like the DPS or the healer classes at all. I slowly grew onto me. And I am very surprised. For a non-MMO player like me, this game captivated me to love the story and the gameplay. I don't know if I ever told you this, Cure, or if you see my previous broadcast, but the other MMO of this type that I played was Guild Wars 2. I think I made it as far as level 16 that game, but the story and the gameplay on that did not keep me interested. I just stopped playing at one point, and I did revisit Guild Wars 2 a couple of months ago, but honestly, it did not it did not renew my interest whatsoever. I tried. So, Cure, if you scroll down, you can see what my PC rig is. I'm not here to brag, but just as a test, I went back to Guild Wars 2 many months ago. I maxed out all the graphic settings, and the game barely stayed around between 40 to 60 frames per second. Roughly. So Guild Wars 2 is not very well optimized. So that's another thing that kind of turned me off, is that the game is not very well optimized. So, but then again, it's a bit of an unfair comparison because Guild Wars 2 was not on consoles. I mean, this game is available on consoles also. But then again, the choices that this game went to make sure that this game is well optimized and not have a big focus on having the best graphics, I think that is what made this game more enjoyable in the long run. The fact that I did not experienced any performance problems playing this game, it made me glad that it made me very happy to see that. Like, so I'm gonna give you an example. I was in Lanosha, you know, the popular hangout spot where a lot of players go to, right? Yeah, I noticed that the game doesn't show you too many players at once. So again, it's all about optimization. But I'm not complaining because I'm glad that this game, for the most part, like, if there are probably some cons there and there, I can't think of them right now, but for the most part, this game does very well in all aspects. Story, gameplay, all the little details from what I have seen. There's probably YouTube videos out there that explain this in more detail than I do, but from what from my thoughts, overall everything this game has done is positive overall. I don't think I can give a score because I don't have too much experience playing MMOs or gaming in general. But those are my thoughts, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be covering the rest of the game. So I can't wait to see the rest of the story with you all. So we'll see you soon for that. Cure, I might give you... so Cure, what I was thinking, all of these bits that I just talked to you now, I might make this into a video itself. I might make this into a video, a YouTube video, saying I'm doing a review of A Realm Reborn and Heavensward together. Because for the last few weeks, Cure, I was thinking of making a video to do a review on my thoughts of A Realm Reborn. But I never could put my thoughts into it completely. Because I had to see the rest of this story and the rest of Heavensward first. But now I finally got my thoughts live right now. So what you just saw, Cure, was, I guess you could say it was magic, or just pure honesty from me. I would never have sounded this confident or forthcoming compared to what you saw me a year ago. I've come a long way with a lot of character development. And a big thank you to all the names and the people that worked in this game here. And yeah, how convenient that we came over to the special thanks screen here. That's what I was just about to say next. So special thanks to all the people that made this game possible. Especially the director of this game. The director / producer of this game. I believe his name is gonna show up here shortly. I can only imagine the number of companies that were involved in this game. A lot of different systems that the developers put into this game. I only know this because they list them out category by category in the credits. Very well done. Let's give our special thanks to the main person in charge that made this game possible. Thank you, game. I'm glad they acknowledged that. Big special thanks and shout out to the producer and director Naoki Yoshida. All right, here we go. So Lahabria and Igurum have fallen. Bested by mortals in their attempt to initiate the Eighth rejoining, that they should be so complacent. And now it falls to me to deal with the consequences. Without intervention, the balance between light and darkness will begin to shift, placing our mission in jeopardy. Hydaelyn's champion has grown too strong. His might encroaches upon the realm of gods. Equilibrium must needs be restored. The time is come for you and yours to join the fray. Is that Orianger? Warrior of darkness. No. Remind me, why is there no rest for the righteous? Because we're in a video game. That's why. It's like soap operas. There must be drama and story to keep things interesting. Because they care, Master Garland. I was wondering why that place was shielded off. Of all the things they could have picked to play with, that's not a toy. You bloody fools, it's a primal. Spires of deception crumble to dust, to lay bare truths long concealed. Beyond simmering shadow lay a shimmering light. So, I'll see y'all next time on Final Fantasy, and I can't wait to see y'all next time. Take it easy, and have a wonderful night or day. Take care.